So first of all, we have with us the Master's Admissions Manager, Carol Deering. Hello, Carol.
Hi everyone. Lovely to meet you all.
Thank you for joining, Carol. I appreciate you being with us. We also have with us Mr. Michael McDonnell, who's the Careers Manager. Hello, Michael.
Hello, everyone. Looking forward to chatting with you this afternoon.
Thank you for joining. And on your right and our left, we have Yola Mer, the International Students Liaison Officer.
Hi guys, how are you? You're very welcome to UCD.
Thank you. Great to have you with us as well. And also you notice we have two other women on our left side, which are two students. So we have Claudia Grandes, a current student of the Masters in Marketing.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Thanks for joining. And we have Umme Hani, a student in the Masters of Management.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining in.
Thank you, all of you, for joining. And as you can see, we have a great panel with a lot of expertise and knowledge here for the students that are joining in to watch. We actually have students from all over the world watching. So yeah, without further ado, of course, you didn't come here to listen to me, but go ahead, Carol, take it away.
Okay. Hi, everyone. It gives us great pleasure to present on the UCD Smurfit Graduate School of Business, the best business school in Ireland. So we're Ireland's top-ranked global business school and the only business school that holds the triple crown of accreditation, AMBA, AACSB, and Equius. And these are all signals of quality. And after our students graduate, they are equipped with not only top quality skills, but also a global passport that will show that their qualification from the Smurfit School is recognized all around the world. Our master degrees are consistently ranked in the Financial Times Top 100, and our school is also a member of the SEMS network, which is a network of leading business schools all around the world. So in Europe, in Canada, Australia, China, India, and the US. So top business schools, for example, HSA in Paris, UB in Italy, ESADA, the London School of Economics, NUS in Singapore, the Richard Ivey Business School in Canada, RSM in Rotterdam, the Nova Business School, USYD in Sydney, and also Cornell. So the Smurfit School is ranked number 21 in leading European business schools in the Financial Times rankings. And our MBA is ranked number 99 in the world and 25 in Europe. Also, our executive MBA is 66 in the world and 35 in Europe. And for a number of years now, our MSc in finance has been ranked number 36 in the world. So our MSc in International Management, which is our SEMS dual master degree, for a number of years now, this particular course has been ranked number 7 in the world and 7 in Europe. And also, we have very high rankings in the QS ranking. For example, the MSc in Finance is number 29 in the world. Our MSc in Management is number 36. Marketing is number 18, and Business Analytics is number 19. So why do we receive 5,000 applications from students in Ireland and international students all around the world? Well, the answer is very clear. It's very obvious. It's because of our rankings and our accreditation. So, sorry, next slide. So we have a global alumni network, and it's very active. And we want to hear the success stories success stories of the students after they graduate. And it's very important for the Smurfit School to keep in touch with our graduates. And every year, we host a lot of alumni events all around the world. Currently in the Smurfit School of Business, 51% of our student population are international, coming from 60 countries all around the world. Our professors are renowned for their academic leadership, and we have approximately 100 leading professors, and their goal is to prepare you as future global leaders in business. So we have a dedicated career development service, and Michael is going to present on this later on. We want our students to get a return on their investment. So because of our rankings and our accreditation, our alumni are high in demand, and many of our corporate partners and companies come and advertise lots of vacancies. We host a lot of career fairs every year. We want you to get a return on your investment. So the Irish economy is very strong at the moment. Ireland is one of the EU's fastest growing economies, and our unemployment rate is very low. Dublin is the European home to over 1,000 leading multinational companies. Companies who require a very skilled, educated, and highly capable workforce. So as a result of this, our students are managing to secure really excellent jobs. Dublin is also the international hub for aviation leasing companies and high-tech firms and financial services. Sorry, what the next slide. So these are just some of the employers where our students go after they graduate. So you might be familiar. So IBM, Hewlett-Packard, O2, Aircom, all the banks, the big fours, Accenture, Deloitte and Touche, Unilever and Intel. Sorry, next slide, Laura. Thank you. And as you can see, other companies where our students go are McKinsey, Google, KPMG, SAP, Ernst & Young, GE, Citigroup, Apple, Oracle. To be honest, there's a lot of information on our website. It's very comprehensive. So I would encourage you all to check out our website and make sure that you have a look at the careers page. It's very comprehensive, and you have a lot of videos from the students and from our academic directors, and it will help you decide what role you want to go in after you graduate. So I'm now going to hand you over to one of our current MSc in marketing students, Claudia Grande. So Claudia is going to let you know about her experience studying in the Smurfit School of Business. So thank you so much, Claudia.
Thank you. Hello, well, my name is Claudie and Umme. I'm from Peru, and I'm studying the MSc marketing. The reason why I chose Smurfit is, well, one of the reasons of the accreditation. I know there is a really good school, it's the best in Ireland, and that was one of the first reasons why I chose to come here. The other reason why I came to Ireland actually is because it's, for me as a marketing student, it is very important to be in an IT company, because back in Peru we don't have big IT companies. So I thought that maybe it's going to be a good opportunity for me and for my career. So I chose to come here, and also I wanted to go to a country where I can speak English. So the options were either going to United States, maybe to UK, or coming to Dublin. And then I decided to come to Dublin because it's part of the European Union. So I said, this is the best option for me. So that's why I chose to come here. And also, as an international student, I feel like there are a lot of things that you can learn from the very moment that you step foot here in the school. You see people from all over the world. It's amazing how you can learn from them, all of the things that they are doing, or their backgrounds. Not everyone has a business background. That's something that I actually like. In my case, for example, I studied journalism, but I'm now doing the master's in marketing. So just like me, there are a lot of people who have different backgrounds, and they teach you different things every day. You know a lot of things about the culture, like people from China or India or Europe, and of course, Dublin. All the Irish people are very nice too. So I think that being an international student is a really good thing, because you're learning a lot from everyone else.
Okay, thank you, Claudia. So now I'm going to hand you over to Hani, who's on our MSc in Management. And the MSc in Management is also very highly ranked, currently number 21 in the Financial Times rankings.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm Umme. I'm from India, and I'm currently pursuing my Master's in Management here at UCD Smurfit Business School. Well, before I actually get into why I chose Smurfit or how this all began, I think a little bit of, a background check would, help all of us here. I am a computer science engineering graduate. Yes, no business degree at all. And after 2 long years of coding in different languages, I finally decided to maneuver my career direction towards management. And, that was the first decision that I had to make, which followed up with multiple more decisions. First one being, where in the world would I want to start this international business exposure from? And next, which is that course which would actually, get in line with all my requirements? And finally, which university would be the actual bucket with all these checklists down there? I chose Dublin because one main reason is, yes, it's an English-speaking country, and I did my computer science engineering from a place called Bangalore in India, which is known to be the Silicon Valley of India. Yes, with tech giants coming up, new startups every day, Bangalore is the kind of hub that I studied in. I did want to move to a place that was on similar lines and somewhere in the European continent. And Dublin, as we know, has a lot of headquarters coming in. There's Facebook, Google, Apple, everyone, all the top giants are here. They have their European headquarters. It is also considered this new Silicon Valley for Europe now that the different issues, UK and everything else. And Smurfit, definitely, we've already heard about this. Its ranking, its accreditations, and its high-class profile is what made me choose Smurfit there. I mean, from students' perspective, I'm completely sure how stressful this time can be. You're searching in different application forms, you're getting your essays in line, you're getting everything in line. But trust me, once you are on this platform for Smurfit, you are being taken care of everything from A to Z. The day I received my offer letter, we had mentors assigned, we had Facebook groups created, wherein even the smallest of doubts were cleared. Like, tiniest doubt, for example, of do I get change in currencies for the airport? Yes, that doubt was cleared to the biggest problem of how do I get housing, my rent, or everything. You just mention it and everything is sorted out. There are hundreds of opportunities waiting for all the international students out there. So yeah, guys, I think it's going to be an amazing journey. It's a learning experience, and can't wait to see all of you here. So all the best.
Thank you, Hani. So, Hani and Claudia, I just have a question that I forgot to ask earlier on. Was safety a factor in your decision to come to Ireland? Because we all know that Ireland is a very, very safe environment. And did your parents have any reservations about you going anywhere else?
Yes, I mean, definitely, that was one main option. I have never been away from my family in 23 years of my life. I studied there, my bachelor's and everything. And my first decision to do my master's from somewhere outside India was a big step, and my parents were very concerned about which place I want to go in. They made sure they check in online to see the crime rates or the student friendliness in that particular place, and Dublin is by far the most safest place that I've come across. There can be issues here and there, but with respect to students, the respect that's given here for students and the opportunities that we have is just numerous. So yeah, it is definitely a safe place here.
I would like to add, for example, that I'm from Latin America, so I'm used to being in unsafe places. But when I came here, everything was so calm, and you don't really see a lot of people like walking from school. Like here in this, we live in Blackrock. I live on campus. So when you go around to go your groceries or do whatever you need to do, everything is so calm, so you feel safe. You can just walk around. I never thought that I could be able to walk alone in the streets in Paris, but now actually I feel safe. So it's something that I will just do, and I will recommend everyone.
That's excellent.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. So our students, when they arrive here in the Smurfit School, they're provided with excellent support services. So, You will have your own dedicated program manager, student advisor, intercultural development manager to learn about the different cultures, and then Yola Mar, who's our international student support. She is excellent, and you know, as we mentioned earlier on, you know, 51% of our students are international, and Yola is excellent. So I'm going to hand you over to
Thank you so
Yola.
much, Carol. It's a very busy campus. Yes, over 50% of our students are non-domestic, so they're from all over the world. And obviously, as you guys arrive, there's so many complex issues to address. So in my role, I assist students to transfer to Ireland and to settle upon arrival. So I'm just going to take you very briefly over 2 slides through your journey that you'll be going through once you decide to come to us. So SIS Web Incoming Students Portal, that exists on our website. So once you accept an offer from UCD, you'll have access to a plethora of information on in one spot, which is the portal. Your contact details for program manager, program director, myself, anybody you need to speak to should you require further information is there. We will also be emailing you, but not more than once a month. We try not to overfill your inbox. And in terms of post-arrival, so after you arrive, immediately what happens is we have prepared 2 days of orientation for you. 1 day for international students, and we call it a new to Ireland orientation. So anybody who has just arrived, has never lived in Ireland, will be attending a day where you'll be able to do 2 things. 1, to learn about UCD and support services, and learn about Ireland, living here, practicalities. And number 2, meet new people. So meet new friends. There's a kind of a huge social element to that particular event. So it's new to Ireland orientation. And there also is a program orientation, which is specific to each program, where you meet your program director and a particular cohort of students that you'll be studying with. And in my remit, I also look after immigration and accommodation. So any immigration queries, I would recommend that you check our UCD website. And under the visa and immigration section, there's loads of information. So before you contact us, have a look at the website, but otherwise you're more than welcome to drop us a line and we'll be there to support you. And there'll be tips for finding accommodation on the portal once you have access to it after you accept a place. And I suppose number 1 message for me is when you're planning to come, please do think of your transition. So do not, and I suppose I can hear you, I can see you guys nodding your head. Don't arrive 2 days before orientation, because what happens, it takes approximately, I'd say, 2 weeks to find a place. More or less, it could be a little bit longer or a little shorter, but approximately 2 weeks. So you really don't want to be starting here and accelerating with your NSE. It's quite intense, and also viewing houses and worrying about where do I live. So it's really important. And minimum 2 weeks prior to orientation is really what we recommend that you come. It's so important.
It definitely is. On that, I would suggest what you guys could do is go online. There's LinkedIn, the different places where you can find your alumni or people currently living here. There are current students moving out of their houses and everything. So you can find things available online and start your research for housing way in advance. I would say at least a month in advance. Start emailing people, finding out how the places, which is more convenient from college, the bus routes, everything. I'm sure that'll be a really good heads up, and I would definitely not recommend coming in here just a day before classes start, because you are moving into a new place. You would need time to get in there, settle out, and see which place goes to college and everything. So
yeah, I couldn't agree more. Thank you so much. I suppose the very last remark is that we don't recommend that students book accommodation without actually viewing the place. So I think I'm going to hand over to Michael. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Michael. I work in the UCD Smurfit Careers Office. So we're a dedicated career service to the Masters in Business students here in Smurfit. And we are like our own little outreach team here down in Blackrock. And we, as I said, we're dedicated just to the Smurfit students only. So I suppose just in summary, we are, I guess, have a philosophy around career development, which would focus on empowering the student in order that they will become, best placed to find a job in the current well-placed economic climate that we have here in Ireland at the moment. So how do we do that? Well, I suppose the first way we do is we kind of propose maybe that a student would go through a journey that has 3 phases. First is setting yourself up for success. So what does that mean? Well, that means that trying to understand, well, what sort of gaps do I have? What are my strengths? What is it that makes me a good fit for a job? And think about, well, what do I need to prepare myself? Once you've got that kind of thinking out of the way and understand perhaps maybe a direction you want to go in, then we are there to put you on a path where you can perhaps do some skills development. We call that building career skills and building professional networks. So it's understanding, well, how can I develop my career skills, such as perhaps CV building, such as perhaps how to be successful at interviews, that type of thing. So we will be there perhaps throughout the year to help you with that. Stage 3 then is landing the job, really. It's about, well, what is it at interview that I need to be successful at? What is my brand? How do I convince the employer to finally give me that offer? And I guess that's probably just how we view this journey to a job in 3 phases. So some of the services then we have here at UCD Smurfit to help you through those phases. We obviously offer career coaching. We've got dedicated staff here in the UCD Smurfit School that you can come and book in one-to-one career appointments. So many business schools offer this. I think perhaps our unique selling point would be that we have other services that perhaps link into this as well, so that when you come to your one-to-one career appointment, it's not just, well, help me with my spelling on my CV. It's about, well, this is my CV at the moment. How can this help me find that job and make this a good application? So career coaching can cover a huge gambit of conversations, such as I said, looking at an application, but also perhaps if you want to think about, well, what are my career options? And sometimes you might be through a few different processes and understand a little bit better, well, where am I going wrong, right? One of the things we do very early in our cycle with our students is that we get them thinking about building their CV. That is crucial nowadays, particularly when you think about the recruitment cycles we have here in Ireland. If you're an undergraduate going into a postgraduate program, like the majority of our students here, probably over 80% of our students would be in that group. We call that pre-experienced. Yeah, you need to get working on your CV pretty quick. So quick, in fact, that we will reach out to our applicants as early as mid-July, early August, in the year preceding the summer preceding your joining. We give you an option to work on your CV through an online analytics tool. And again, as I said, that's getting you thinking, getting you started before you come on campus and have all of those wonderful academic modules to keep you occupied, right? So that's about getting you started on your CV. Then once you come in September during orientation, we also have some seminars and workshops right from the get-go. And we call these professional development workshops, right? And they are serious, and they sound serious, and they're serious for a reason. It's getting you into a very quick picture around, well, what is it I need to get the job? So obviously everybody's coming here to have a wonderful time and spend, a great year studying at Smurfit. But ultimately, the reality will hit at some point during the year that after it's all over, I need to start working. So we're there to try and help you perhaps prepare for that earlier in the cycle than you might expect. So I mentioned a moment ago about the recruitment cycles. The first one again is for graduates, and that would typically be from about late September to November. So that's for the mill grounds or the graduate programs. And more we find that thankfully many of the employers in Dublin are open to receiving non-EU applicants onto those programs. So we advise everybody to give that that opportunity, to work on that seriously. The second cycle would be then perhaps late spring into the summer. And that would coincide specifically for experienced hires. You were talking about starting work in September. So yeah, if you're looking to apply for jobs for that cycle, you're looking at applying probably from April onwards. Also, for those people who happen to be successful at the graduate recruitment round, then we'll be looking at direct entry roles. So all of these services that we provide here would fit into those cycles. We place a lot of emphasis nowadays on access for our students to get these skills, right? And a lot of this is now through online resources. More and more, we live in a Netflix world where everything needs to be on demand. And so we can provide some of that to our students. So for example, we have online introduce skills workshops, which is on demand. We have training for LinkedIn. We have webinars on LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is now such a crucial part of the recruitment process. We place huge emphasis on training in terms of getting students up to the level that's required for them to hopefully be picked off by the time they come to the end of their studies. And just to finish on my section here, just to say that ultimately the responsibility of finding the job is with the student in the Irish market, right? So quite a lot of time, success is actually not necessarily through just applying directly through a job posting on a website. It's about building your network. So we highly encourage, strongly encourage students to start networking from day one, particularly with recent alumni who've been through application processes and know what are the factors for success. But also, we are beginning to grow an alumni community through an online platform that will allow career and alumni mentoring. So that is something that we're very keen to bridge that gap between alumni and the current student. So once you come here to UCD Smurfit, all of this is available to you to help you be an amazing success throughout the year.
Just to add on to what Michael just said, there is one thing that the careers team handles very particularly. It's about the weekly career alerts. So if you guys are wondering, how do I get to know where there is an opening or vacancies available, what is happening around the Irish market, these weekly career alerts are a big help. Personally speaking, I have applied to multiple of those. Every week you have an email that comes up which says, there you go, these are the openings, and you can see openings in marketing, management, and everything. From small tech startups to big giants, you have everything available online. So yeah, that's a very big help to all of us here.
Thank you. Okay, so how to apply. So we have a very user-friendly website. You apply online via a link on the main Smurfit School website. And it's important to remember to have all your documents ready. For example, your academic transcripts and also your CV. English language tests like IELTS or TOEFL can be provided much later. And it's important, we look for your motivation for wishing to pursue your particular preferred major. So it's important to remember to pay a lot of attention on the essay-based questions. And then you finish your application and submit and pay €50. So the assessment can take up to 3 weeks, and this is really to do with the huge volume of applications that we receive. We do have rolling deadlines to manage the application and the volume of applications received. After we review your application, if you have already met the criteria, for example, if you've finished your undergrad degree and have met the IELTS requirement, if that's applicable, you will receive a full offer. If not, you will receive a conditional offer based on you meeting our entry criteria for a specific program, or a no offer. And if you receive a no offer, we will come back to you with feedback. Sometimes it might be that you're ineligible for a particular program, and we will encourage you to maybe suggest that you would apply for an alternative program. After we have issued you with an offer, you will need to pay $500 non-refundable deposit, and that secures your place. So as I mentioned earlier on, our website is fantastic. There's a lot of very valuable information. And if you have any queries at all you have to do is email smurfit.admissions@ucd.ie, or alternatively, we have a great team, admissions team, and you're welcome to call us on +353 1 716 4321, and we would be delighted to speak to you. Also, it's very important to remember that we have a wide variety of scholarships for our international students. So more information is available on our Smurfit School website, and this is the link: smurfitschool.ie/admissions/scholarships. So before I hand over to question and answer session, I just want to say one final thing, that we want our students to have a wonderful time. The year goes very, very quickly, and Ireland is very safe, it's very beautiful. We've got lots of castles, lakes, mountains, and we want you to network with students from all around the world, make friends, and keep in touch with your classmates. And this is very important to us. So it might be worth your while to have a look at the Discover Ireland website and Bolcha Ireland website. I know that a lot of students during the term breaks and during the holidays would travel all around Ireland. And also, if you have a Schengen visa, it's an opportunity with low-cost airlines to travel all over Europe. So not only do we want you to become a future global leader in business and get a great job, but we also want you to have a fantastic time in Ireland and immerse yourself in the culture and enjoy your time. That's most important. So thank you so much. We're going to have questions and answers now.
Great. Thank you, Carol, and all of you for the great explanation already so far. And indeed, we'll go now to the Q&A section, where the students that are online right now can put their questions in the Q&A box. So we already have some questions. Just to make sure, if somebody joined a little bit later, you can write your questions at the panel Q&A that you see on your right. And also for the on-demand viewers, you can still do so right now. A question from Trang. Trang was asking, I have a question concerning the merit-based scholarship for Vietnamese students. What qualifications decide the value of the scholarship? Is it the GPA, the IELTS, or even some voluntary or social activities? What would make an applicant be coming into a question for the scholarship?
So we take a holistic view of all when we're accessing all applications. So we look at your CV, your motivation for wanting to come and join a particular program. As I mentioned earlier on, we've got lots of scholarships and lots of regional scholarships. Sometimes it's not about merit-based scholarships. In some cases it is, and we have GMAT scholarships. So I would advise you to refer to our website. We have a specific scholarship page, and all the information is outlined on the website.
Okay, great. Thank you for that. Indeed, they can check out the website on the resource panel that you see on your right-hand side for the viewers. A question from Megana. Megana is saying, I have a question for Claudia. As I'm coming to UCD for a master's in marketing this August, and I want to know what the course is like. Is it more practical than theoretical? And I'm hoping to be more practical, but how is also to be, how is the faculty, and what would you say is the best part of the marketing course?
Hello. Well, right now I'm in the second semester. At the beginning, we have 3 modules. They're all, I would think that there's a mix because you have a lot of case studies. It's not only theory that you're going to see in every class. It's a lot of thinking, a lot of real situations. It makes you understand, makes you think a lot, how to solve problems. I actually really like what I'm doing right now. Right now we're in the second semester. I'm doing omnichannel. In the second semester, you have to choose your electives. So I chose, for example, brand management and leading corporate reputation. So it teaches you, what I really like is that all 3 courses are all connected. So if you see something that is happening in omnichannel, maybe in the next class you will relate with the other 2 courses. So it's really interesting how you can learn from everything. And also, well, you have the reviews, you have the essays, you have to do a lot of things, you have to organize yourself, but it's going to be good. I really like it and I'm enjoying it.
Am I right in saying then, Claudia, that there's a strong emphasis on preparing you presentation skills, group work?
Oh yes, there's a lot of group work. in every module you will have to have a group. So this also helps you to develop your skills as a team member, because you will have to work with a lot of people. Sometimes you don't have same opinions, but that's how you learn to be like a manager, director, maybe in the future. I don't know. So it's going to help a lot.
I have to say, you know, I think because our school is so international, you know, and the world is a small place, and because you're going to graduate with a qualification that has global recognition, it's very good training for when you go out into the workplace.
Yeah.
So to have the ability to work with people from all around the world and learn all about the different cultures, that's a bonus, isn't it?
Yeah. It is actually, at the beginning, it might be kind of tough to kind of communicate with everyone on the same page. But then you get to know everyone, get to know how they work, and then how you have to be flexible too. Sometimes you're just not like that, but then you learn to be something, and you learn your skills. So it's going to help you a lot, and I really like it.
You can bring that experience into your interview.
Yeah.
A global
yeah.
company, this is what they look like. They're like proposals on LinkedIn,
We
they have a
also
worldwide
have-
presence.
Yeah.
We also have Linda Jones, intercultural program. So she will explain a lot of things that will come again with the intercultural, international team group. Like there's a lot of things that you can learn.
Excellent. Multi-aspect of learning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dimension.
Great, thank you. Good to hear. And we have a question from Akshita, who's wondering about what percentage of non-EU students from the current batch have offer letters for the course, the specific course of Master in Business Analytics. Can you say something about this?
Yeah, so, you know, our goal here in the Smurfit School is to have good international diversity. But sometimes it can be difficult, given that, you know, business analytics, for example, is very, very popular. And sometimes it's hard to manage that international diversity in one or two programs. Having said this, I wouldn't be concerned because, you know, one of my students questioned this last week at one of the recruitment fairs, and really, you know, we have our intercultural development officer, and there's lots of, you know, even though business analytics could be dominated by more than, you know, one nationality, more than other courses that have very good international diversity, I wouldn't be concerned about that because we host a lot of different events where you will still have the opportunity to network with students from all around the world. Am I right in saying that? So, you know, it's your choice. It's a very, you know, business analytics is a very popular major at the moment. So you don't need to be concerned.
Perfect, great, thank you for that answer. Meanwhile, we have some more questions. A question from Noah. And Noah is wondering, are careers in the financial services industry strictly in Ireland, or do companies also from other EU countries and possibly the US recruit from Smurfit?
So, yes is the short answer. In a world where everything is getting smaller on a global scale, we have quite a number of students every year who embark on careers internationally. I suppose the practical side of that is that much of the recruitment, particularly at graduate level, for international roles is done through portals, right? International portals. And we would have access to 2 or 3 of those portals. There's one by an organization called HireEd, H-I-G-H-E-R-E-D, Hired. And you can go on there and you can see jobs in finance all over the world. Sometimes through our own native portal here, Careers Connect, you might see some jobs come in. But then quite a number of people perhaps who are traveling to a particular destination will work through alumni as well. So I know a student year before last specifically who got a role in New York, went back to New York and got a role there working in a asset-backed high intensity job, getting quite well paid for it. Many people perhaps would also look at London. London at the moment, due to Brexit, it's probably a little bit more precarious, but suffice it to say that a lot of the major players in investment banking, for sure, are still sticking to London. There's not much change there. But around Europe, we do see more and more of the multinationals offering roles in finance. And as I said, being on the right portals will give you access to the applications for those particular programs.
Great, thank you, Michael, for that answer. I think that's definitely interesting for a lot of people from the audience to know what's in store after the master. There's another question from Kan. Kan is asking, I know that you have scholarships for Southeast Asia, from Southeast Asian countries. How many scholarships do you offer, and are there any majors which are prioritized?
Well, you know, we have a lot of corporate partners that are very generous, and we have, say, for example, MSc in Aviation Finance. So we have a lot of scholarships. Everything is outlined on the website on specific majors, so it depends on what course you're applying for. So just refer to the website. You know, all the scholarships are outlined in detail, and the open date, the close date. And just in case I forget, it's really important, if you're interested in applying, you should really submit your online application as soon as possible. Because of our rankings and our accreditation, there's huge interest, and many of the courses are becoming oversubscribed at this stage. So and then we don't want you to be disappointed. So I suppose the key message is, you know, make sure if you're interested in applying to submit your online application as soon as you can. Obviously, if you're in the middle of exams, you know, say within the next 2 weeks, it's very important. You want to make sure that you get your preferred major. Apply early. Yeah.
Great, thank you for that. Meanwhile, we just got confirmation. Aksai is saying, I'm for sure coming in August for the Master in Business Analytics. So that's already great to hear.
Excellent.
Good to see. So you'll be welcoming Akshay in some months from now. There's another question from Megana. She's asking, if looking for off-campus accommodation, how do you suggest I start? Once before or once I arrive in Dublin?
Do you want to tell about your
In my case, I'm staying on campus. So for me, I did everything 3 months in advance. So I just came. I was already had the place to live on campus. So
Okay.
I didn't go to
3 months.
Well,
yeah.
I think they'll be opening shortly, so it's an ongoing accommodation and
There's different stages.
That's right, yeah. So once you have an offer and accepted an offer, if once accommodation opens, and I think it might have just opened or is about to open, you will automatically receive an email invitation. So this is in regards to on-campus accommodation, yes. And then there is a whole big story.
There's a big bunch of things happening about for off-campus.
Yeah,
I could
story and your experience.
I am living off-campus now, so it's been 6 months here in Dublin, and I would suggest please start looking for places well in advance, but do not by any chance, you know, maybe pay the deposit before you actually view. Yeah. Don't trust anyone online before you actually personally view the property. It's okay if you might have friends here who might do it for you and all that, but yes, trust is one important thing because there can be scams around. But yeah, for the question, you have to start looking way before you get in here, at least a month or half in advance. There are Facebook pages created where people post about leaving a place, so you can always get in touch with them. There is daft.ie, and there are many other renting sites available. Go online, talk to the owners or landlords directly. But again, view the place properly. Make sure you see the convenience about getting to college, getting off the place, see what's around the place, and only then confirm your spot. Yeah, and there is online source available for all these things. There is some available even on the Smurfit, on the UCD website about renting options, and you will be made clear that this should be done well in advance before coming.
Yeah, our incoming students portal will have a guide couple of pages with information on how to search, what to search, what to look out for. Again, not transferring money until, I mean, there's very few scams. I maybe hear one every year, so it's very, very few, but still, if you lose money, it's really unfortunate. So our recommendation is don't ever pay any money until you actually view the place. What I would suggest is to do research well in advance, just to see the prices, the areas that you'd like to live in, and just see how hard it is, how, you know, it's just the response rate as well. So like practicing, it's doing research, and once you arrive, you have to immerse yourself in the search for about 2 weeks, and fingers crossed you get something that you are happy with. Yeah. I hope it answers your question.
I hope so too, and otherwise we will hear back from the audience members that concerns. But thank you for these detailed answers. I'm sure that's very useful for everybody to know that, and also good to hear some people are already considering and are already coming to Dublin. And so unless we have another question from the audience, I can still take one. I actually will surely have some questions for the audience, because we'd like to know from the audience members, both live and again who are watching the on-demand recording, if you find this information useful, and if you find the information you required. So on the screen you can click the answer of your choice, and do not forget to hit submit. It's good for us to get an idea if this was useful for you. I'll wait a couple of seconds more as we have another question, which we also like to know if you intend to apply for a Smurfit Masters. I already think there are some candidates here that are live with us, so do click also the answer of your choice. Again, it would be useful for us to know, to get an idea who you do have the actual admissions page in the resource list. So I do encourage you to click there if you are considering to apply. Okay, and then last but not least, we'd like to know from you what are some deciding factors in your choice of the master's program. You can write it in, just some key things that stand out from this master's. Why are you considering the UCD Smurfit Masters? So do give some ideas for us there. It would be great for us to know what are some deciding factors for you. I'll leave that open for a minute. I think another question came in. Let me check. Yes, there was actually a question from Don, and Don would like to know, could you please shed some light on the Masters of Business Analytics capstone project? Is there something you can say about?
Our website, as I mentioned earlier on, is very comprehensive. So for each course, you have an overview, then you've got the curriculum. So in relation to this question, I would suggest that you look on the curriculum, click on the capstone project, and that will outline details of the learning outcomes, the assessment, what the project is about. So all the information should be on the curriculum page on the website for business analytics.
I can add something there.
Okay, yeah.
As part of my careers function, I would talk to the class ambassadors, and we had a meeting this morning, so I can add a bit.
Okay, good. Yeah.
So the structure kind of it could be slightly different year on year, so that's the caveat here. So it doesn't necessarily mean it'll be the same next year. But my understanding is that this year the project for the current students will take place over the summer, so it comes at the end of the program. Students will be working in pairs, so it's 2 per project. And the project is so you can take the project or you take a bunch of modules. It's your choice, right? So it's a way to finish out the program. So you can finish early, perhaps mid-July, if you're not doing the capstone project. But if you are doing the capstone, it'll probably take you right through to the end of August. Then the academic program looks after this particular element of the program, capstone, and you would work in with the academic director on the companies, etc., that will be providing those projects. But that's the way it works this year. It's 2 people per team, and so that's probably about 30-odd projects that will be going on this year.
Good.
mean, if there's very specific question, you can get in touch with the program manager who'll be able to source further information for you at this stage. And so the rule always is the more questions you ask, the more you know. And you're more than welcome to contact all of us with a particular question or with quite a broad inquiry. So again, the more you ask, then you're very welcome to, yes, the more you know.
Perfect. Well, thank you for those answers. And with that, we'll conclude the session for today. I think a lot of answers have been given already, and it was very useful information for the audience. So on behalf of all the participants that we had online from different countries already worldwide, I'd like to thank everybody and the panelists today that were able to make their time available. So thank you, all of you. We had Carol, Michael, Yola, Claudie and Umme, Hani. Thank you for all of you for your time, and hope to see some students in Dublin with you in the coming year.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.